Well, hey everybody, happy long Thanksgiving weekend. Hope you enjoyed your time with your friends and your family and the good food and fixings and all that. Listen to me, you tell I live in the South now, fixings. But I'm sure, like me, you have a lot to be grateful for. As 2022 is coming to an end, I'm looking back and seeing a lot of things that I had hoped to happen did not happen. A lot of the goals I had set, big goals I had set, and aspirations I had that I thought would happen this year did not happen. And to be honest with you, I have been pretty bitter about it over the last couple of weeks and pretty depressed. But as Thanksgiving got closer, I settled down and I had time to think back to the time when I had my accident, and I realized that it wasn't the big things that really matter. It was more the small things. You see, before my accident, I took a lot of things for granted, like the ability to smile. Now when I smile, this side, the left side of my face kind of droops still. The ability to feed myself, the ability to take care of myself, the ability to type, which I can't do, the ability to tie my shoes. A little funny story. Before my accident, I was in such a hurry between going to school, my social life, going to my job, or doing one of a million things. I didn't take the time to tie and untie my shoes. I'd always slide my feet in and out of my shoes because I was on the run. It wasn't until I had my accident and I lost the fine-tuned motor skills in my left hand and had to, in rehab, they wanted me to tie my shoes, and I couldn't do it because I didn't have the fine-tuned motor skills in my left hand. And part of me was just like, you don't tie your shoes anyway or untie your shoes anyway, just slide them on and off. But the therapist, part of the recovery process was tying your shoes and even buttoning your shirts. And trust me, you don't know how much of a blessing it is to be able to button your shirts until you can't feel the buttons with one of your hands and you can't button. I had to sit there with my therapist for 20-30 minutes at a time as they coached me how to button and unbutton a button-up shirt. Now, I mean long flannels, so you got a lot of buttons. So I'm sitting here like trying to do it, and I couldn't do it because I couldn't feel the buttons with my thumb. I couldn't feel the holes with my fingers. So if you can't do that, you can't button. So if you can't button your buttons, you can't dress yourself. You know, those were the little things that I took for granted. Now I can do it, and I'll be honest with you, I still struggle with it sometimes, especially if I'm like wearing a suit and a tie, trying to button the top button my fingers. It takes me forever, which is part of the reason why I don't wear a tie all. If you've ever seen me in a tie, appreciate the moment because I have worked hard at buttoning up that top button, button the buttons, and getting the tie tied. The left hand and the digits just ain't working like that. So I've learned to appreciate the little things. And that's what this month's video is about. Keeping with the Thanksgiving holiday weekend is I want to talk about appreciating the little things, the little blessings in life. We may not get all the big things we want in life, but the little things that we take for granted, whether it's getting up in the morning, being able to get out of bed on our own without having somebody help us out of the bed, which, trust me, I've been there. It's humiliating. Having someone going to the bathroom on your own, and yes, I've been there. Having to have somebody help you is humiliating. Having somebody feed you, again, humiliating. Those are the little things in life we can appreciate. Having the freedom to get out and drive, or go for a walk, or anything. Those are the little blessings in life. We need to be thankful for those. And this is what I've been doing during Thanksgiving week, is focusing on the little things I can do that a lot of people can't. I know people who have had less of brain damage than I have had and can't do half the stuff I can do. Can't even talk. Can't hold their heads up. I've been around brain injury survivors who can't hold their heads up. And my heart breaks for them. And if you're struggling with some type of disability, I just say this: you're not alone. So be thankful for what you can do and what you do have. You know, I'm sitting here in my home office, which is aka my spare bedroom. As you can see, if you look around, I've got a bunch of, you can see my bike tires. Back in the corner, I've got some exercise equipment, some skates and all that. There are people who cannot do any of that stuff. There are people who don't even have a home. So be thankful that you have a home. I mean, not cliche, thank you, Lord. Thank you for the roof. And I mean, really, especially in this time that we're living in, with inflation, there are a lot of people who can't. There are people getting evicted. I know people here in the community that I live in who have gotten evicted close to the holidays. So be thankful for the little things. You know, as I talk about being thankful for little things, there have been some big things that happened this year that I'm really grateful, like being published in folksandthefamily.com for the very first time. Never thought that would happen. That was one of my dreams for like 20 years ago, writing for Folks on the Family. Going to a writers' conference earlier this year, meeting new people, making new friends, leaving old friends and moving on to new friends. Yeah, I may not have the big house, the white picket fence, the wife, and the 2.5 kids, which I'm still trying to figure out the 2.5 kids statistic. Is that like 2 kids and maybe a bun in the oven like 5 months? Is that how they get the 2.5 kids? Come on, if you're married with kids, explain it to me. Leave a comment. Where does the 2.5 kids come from? But I have my health. I may get married, I may not. You know, there's a saying that I heard years ago: it's better to be alone and miserable than to be married and miserable for the rest of your life. I don't know. Leave your comment to this, but I'm thankful for the season I'm in. Do I want to stay in it for the rest of my life? No, but that's up to God. I'm appreciating this season because I'm learning more about myself. I'm learning more about life, and I'm still growing. If you ever get to the point where you can't learn something, there's a problem. So I appreciate the little things, and I'm hopeful for bigger things, but if they don't come, I can be content. One of the things that I'm thankful for was this past week, I had a chance to sit down and talk with Coach Mark Prasic at PJNet TV about my brain injuries and my health and where God's brought me from those early days after my accident to where I'm at now. That was an opportunity that I didn't know I was going to have. So, if you're not familiar with PJNet TV, Google it, go online, watch them. It's basically it's a platform for everyday Christians to share their story, their struggle, and their aspirations. So I'm not going to tell you all about that conversation, but what I will do is I'll put a link to that video on YouTube at the end of this video, so you can go on and watch that discussion that I had with Coach Mark. And if you like what you see there, subscribe to them on YouTube, follow them, or go on the website, check it out, and join the conversation. Maybe you have something you want to share with Coach Mark. Reach out to him. He's on Facebook and social media. I mean, there's nothing special about me, and they want to listen to me. So if you have a story, reach out to Coach Mark, join the conversation, and share your story. Surely there's something small in your life that you appreciate and you can share with others. You may encourage somebody else during the holidays. So that's really all I want to share this month for this main video. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like, leave comments in the bottom of this video, and at the end, like I said, of this video, you'll see the link. I'm going to put it, I'm trying to get used to all this stuff. I'm going to put the link right here. So you click on the link to that interview or discussion and watch our discussion on YouTube. Normally I would download it and put a video together, but for copyright reasons I cannot do that this time. So you will see the link over here, click it, and listen to what we talk about. Now, I hope you take the rest of this weekend and the rest of this year and think back over the small things in your life, the small victories that you can be thankful for. Don't do like I've been doing and harp on the big disappointments, whether it's a job loss, a dead dream, or lost relationships, lost friendships, and think about the small blessings in your life that you have. If you have a disability, don't think about what you can't do. Be grateful for the things you can do. I can't play a guitar anymore. I can't play games anymore. I can't type anymore. I can't I can play pool, but I'm not good like I used to be because I don't have the fine-tuned motor skills in my left hand. I mean, if you know anything about playing pool, you gotta have good fingers and thumb. So you rest your pool stick in between your thumb and your finger. Now you see, now while I'm trying to hold on that pool stick, my thumb goes down and the pool stick actually just, it's like I'm trying to hack my index finger off. I can't do that anymore, but I can ride a bike, I can run, I can exercise, I can cook, which if you go on my Instagram page or Facebook page, you can see some of the things I cooked for myself for Thanksgiving. And Lord knows I can talk, You know, sometimes I wish or wonder why God let me regain the ability back to talk. You know, so those are the small things to be thankful for. Because when I first had my accident, I talked like Forrest Gump. I talk a lot like Forrest Gump, you know. Mama always said life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. I talk real monotone. So to learn how to talk again, I actually had to get on the phone with my therapist, call up my voicemail, listen to the voicemail on the recorder we had in the apartment, and listen to my voice over and over to see how my voice pitches modulated. And then after listening to that over and over, I could retrain myself to talk with voice modulations like a normal person. Like when I got excited, I wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm excited. You can't tell I'm excited. Now I'm like, yeah, I'm excited. You see? Now for a person with a brain injury, that's not easy. You have to relearn those things, those little things. Be grateful for what you have. Be thankful for what you have. Be hopeful for what you want, but don't obsess over what you want. There's a difference. You can have dreams, you can have hopes, but the problem is when we obsess over it, or when for me it's when I obsess over them. You know, yeah, God, I just wish I was like, the Bible talks about being jealous. There's a reason why. Envy is and jealousy is one of the 7 deadly sins. Because if I'm always being jealous of somebody else, I'm never being content with what I have. I'm never content with what God has for me. The Apostle Paul talks about there's great gain when there's contentment with godliness. A lot of times we Christians, we focus a lot on the godliness and we forget about the contentment part. You know, that contentment part of the Christian faith is a big deal. Because if we're content, we're not always looking at other people. If we're content, that we're not so jealous or envious of other people. If we're content, those big disappointments don't hurt so much. I didn't get that job. I didn't get that girl. But tomorrow morning, I can still get up. There'll be other job opportunities. And trust me, as the cliche goes, there are other fish in the sea. You'll meet somebody else. She may not look like you want. She may not talk like you want. She may not smell like you want. Or they may not even be everything you want. But they may be what God wants for you. And that's where I'm at in this season as 2022 comes to an end. So, check out the interview, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, hit the like button, and have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you soon. Matter of fact, come back tomorrow and you can check out one of my no-brainers. I'm trying to do a no-brainer a day. Little short 1-minute videos that are kind of humorous videos to make you think about things. We don't think as much. Sometimes we think too much. Sometimes we don't think enough. So my no-brainers are to get you to think and laugh. So again, Merry Christmas and see you later.